Harrison, Ohio City Council meeting, April 2nd, 2024. If you'd please rise and join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's always so nice having a packed house here. If I'd like to invite Pastor Austin Mathis from Grace Church for our invocation.
There he is.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, as our city leaders gather here today, let them come with humble hearts, open minds, seeking wisdom, guidance, and understanding as they engage in the important work of our city. Grant them patience to listen, let them speak with integrity and act with wisdom for the betterment of the citizens of Harrison. Bless their deliberations with clarity and insight, that they may make decisions that honor our community's values and promote the common good. May their discussions be marked by respect and cooperation, recognizing the diversity of perspectives that enrich our city. It's in the name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen. You may be seated.
Can I make just a quick comment, Mr. Mayor? Austin, I just want to thank you and the pastors that put together the This City, His City Good Friday service. It was an awesome display of unity among pastors who come from different denominations, different political parties, if you will. You displayed a great amount of unity. You had a clear, cohesive reenactment or message. Everybody, every pastor, every church that participated played an important part, and it was just, with all the crazy stuff going on in our community, it's one of the shining lights in the community. It was just a really positive experience. It blessed my socks off. I know my wife was blessed, and everybody in attendance, I think, really enjoyed what you did. So I just want to commend you and the rest of the pastors of this city, His City, for what you did on Good Friday. And I'm looking forward to next year. Thank you.
Very good. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Here.
Mr. Egner?
Here.
Mr. Abrams?
Here.
Mr. Samuels?
Here.
Mr. Akra?
Here.
Mr. Maines?
Here.
Mrs. Wilson?
Here. Approved council meeting minutes and executive session summary from March 20, 2024.
Wilson, J.W. moves to approve.
Second.
Mr. Egner?
Abstain.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akra?
Yay.
Mr. Maines?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay. Moving to presentations, we do have a donation presentation by the American Legion Post 199. Jerry?
Have the representative from Harrison Junior Baseball come up, please, to the podium over there.
There he is again.
Here I am.
There again.
Hi.
How are you?
So on behalf of Yeager Benson American Legion Post 199 in our charities account, we know that you guys have been doing a lot of rebuilding and making it better for all the children that play sports down there. And so the charities committee voted to give Harrison Junior Baseball a check for $1,500.
Wow, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
So yeah, just to introduce myself, I'm John Lay. I'm the Vice President of Harrison Junior Baseball. We're the home for recreational baseball in Harrison as well as surrounding communities. We have currently, for this season, 30 teams, 350 kids. Those are ages 3 through 15. And one of the tenets that we have down there, one of our missions, is to keep baseball accessible and affordable to as many kids that want to play baseball as possible. So for that reason, we keep our fees as low as we can. And even having said that, there were several families that reached out and said, we need help, we can't manage the fees. So we took that on ourselves because we don't want money to be an obstacle. If a kid wants to play baseball, we want to make it happen. So to fill the gap between our fees and trying to make improvements, we have a 16-year-old gator that was used to get the fields ready to play. Things like this really make a big difference. So thank you to the Legion. Thank you very much. Appreciate your partnership.
Always have our support.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank
You
you.
have a great evening. Thank you.
Now, we got some scholarship recipients here tonight from a number of schools. I appreciate they come up here and start right at this spot. Two two of them could not be here tonight because they had some other engagement, I think it was with wrestling. With Audrey Busing, please come here. Logan Caldwell. Morgan Gardner. Nicholas Saddam. Anthony Saddam. Jack Ward. And last but not least, a young man named Jackson Wilson. I don't know where I got that name at. And Gene's going to be presenting each one of these students with a scholarship of $1,000.
And what we do for the post is we make the check out to the student, because we don't want it to affect anything that they may be getting somewhere else, so they can use it for whatever they need, books, a laptop, whatever they need. But we've been doing this for a number of years, and last year was the first year that we were able to give $10,000 out. But we've been doing this ever since we belonged to the Legion, giving scholarships out in the community. And we also have started including some students from East Central. So we're proud of that fact, and we're proud of all these young, amazing kids here. I met these two at a fundraiser for the Jaeger Benson ball team. So, yeah, okay, all right. Well, congratulations.
One other one's not here. He already received his. Cameron Balsick from East Central. He already received his. That otherwise there would have been 10.
Logan, right? Morgan. Nicholas. Let's do some phone games. Okay, we're counting on you. Anthony. Jack. Congratulations. Jackie, should I give you the check?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Back here.
Gene, if you'd get in the middle of them there, I'll tighten up a little bit. I'll get a picture.
All right.
Jerry, you want to get in there with them? You want to get in there? No?
Tighten up a little bit. Come on, boys and girls, act like you're dating. Back up a little more. And I also want to thank some of their grandparents and grandparents for serving in the military. Mike Claypool, Joe Wolf, and Tony Ward. I don't know if he's here. Jack's dad. Thank you. You can go. See, bud. No, well, probably not. I'm going to the airport. I'm going to Germany.
I know. You're welcome, sweetheart. See you, Michael. See ya. Hey, if any changes with him, let me know.
Okay, we'll go ahead and move into invited guests and visitors, and I'd like to invite Gail Chuck, Tree Board, delivering a Tree Board annual report. Good evening.
Good evening. When Mayor Groves first came into office, he had texted me and he said, "Do you have a tree board 2-year report?" And we have never given a tree report, 2-year report. And the board thought this was a terrific idea, and we were happy to do that. And we're excited to report on our 2023 activities and our projects for 2024. As a tree city, Harrison needs to spend $2 per capita on trees and related activities. Tree Board member Debbie Mossberger works with Dave Perkins, the Harrison Maintenance Supervisor, to calculate how many dollars are spent on projects including tree pruning and chipping of fallen branches, leaf collection, city tree maintenance and removal of dead or damaged city trees, with mulching of existing city trees in all the parks and green spaces, plus Christmas tree pickup. This all is added to yard waste program, which is the last Saturday of each month, where residents can come and take their yard waste and and the street maintenance department and crew separates the waste into leaves and limbs that are chipped for mulching. These expenses are added to the money that we spend, the tree board spends on our Arbor Day tree giveaway and fall tree plantings on Harrison's green space. It totals $2 per capita. The tree board began with a phase 1, planting of deciduous trees at the gateways to Harrison. Over the years, we have planted hornbeams, Japanese white lilacs, autumn blaze maples on Harrison Avenue, West Road, Dry Fork Road, New Haven Road, Biggs Boulevard, Progress Way, State Street, and Campbell Road. We also added trees to Willow Park and the motocross area. In 2023, we replaced the 9 aged hornbeams in the wells in downtown Harrison with ginkgo autumn gold. Ginkgos are tough trees and withstand pollution. They are prehistoric trees. These trees are well known for their unique fan-shaped leaves that turn an iconic golden color in the fall. In addition, we planted 6 raspberry spear crabapples on stone near Harrison Avenue by McDonald's. Raspberry spear crabapples grow to 20 feet with bright magenta flowers. The foliage is disease-free and holds its dark purple color, and in the fall will exhibit tints of orange. It's also non-suckering. The maintenance crew plants and stakes the trees, and in the spring puts on water bags after Memorial Day and continues to water throughout the summer, removing the bags after Labor Day. We hope to have a numbering system in place soon so the tree board can notify maintenance crew if a specific tree needs attention, like pruning or replacement. Each year, the current mayor makes a proclamation for Arbor Day, and the tree board holds its April meeting in conjunction with a tree program and distribution of sapling trees. This year, it will be Tuesday evening, April 23rd at 7 o'clock at the Community Center Multipurpose Room. Arborist Paige Johnson of Bartlett Tree Service will be the featured speaker on native trees. 50 willow oak saplings will be given away to people attending. Willow oaks are highly valued for their ornamental appeal. They have a dense canopy that provides shade while being tolerant of urban environments. When established, they can grow 2 feet per year. The tree board reviews the landscape plans of new businesses and developments coming into Harrison, and will work closer with the Economic Development Department at the beginning stages to make landscape requirements. We want to make sure new developments meet these landscape requirements. We would also like more input in old businesses sold and revamping of that property, including the greening of parking lots. The tree board wants to add to the existing green canopy of the city. We are currently working on ideas to do this by possible acquisition of small parcels of land within the city, such as alleyways, to add green space and adding trees, thereby increasing much-needed tree canopy. This leads to Phase 2. Phase 2 of our plan will be adding trees to residential streets in Harrison. Years ago, we did a walk through downtown Harrison with Wendy Van Buren, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources arborist and liaison with Tree City USA, to look at areas where we could add street trees. We need a minimum of 3 feet for small trees. Most of the downtown streets had nothing like this. That is why we hope we can get some pockets donated where we can add trees and possibly park benches. Several of the trees in downtown residential areas have huge silver maples that are over 50 years old and have roots that have uprooted and uptorn sidewalks and are quite dangerous. We would like to remove these trees over the years and replant them with maples, oaks, and other acceptable trees to add beauty to downtown residential areas. The tree board is also serious in citing businesses that fail to keep up their landscape maintenance agreements. Newly planted areas look gorgeous, but in a few years, if neglected, they become eyesores. We have to work with the zoning department to cite some companies for replacement of dead trees and shrubs and general weed upkeep, and we will continue to do so. We are an ambitious committee, but the stakes are high for this community and for our environment. Thank you for letting me give this report.
Absolutely.
you.
And I greatly appreciate all the work that your team puts into, so the tree board is a committee of the city, and they try to look out, obviously, for the best interests of the community as a whole and trying to create greenery across the entire city. I did try to have that meeting with Anderson Township. Unfortunately, nobody showed up except for me, so we'll try to reschedule that and have a meeting, but also, I think your trees are out there for your
Right.
event.
In fact, I just found that. I can't believe it because they weren't supposed to be delivered for 2 weeks. So
Yes.
I'm hurrying to find out where we're
Yeah.
going. And Debbie Mossberger is the one where we package them up, and she's going to take them, and we're going to handle that.
And then we have the proclamation on the 16th, city council meeting of the 16th.
Okay.
To wrap up our Arbor Day obligations to make sure we maintain our Tree City status. So, thank
Great.
you very much, Kim. Okay, next we'll go to Dale Maris, update on Convention of the States. Evening, sir.
Hi there. Thank you for letting me come, council, and speak again. I've been here, probably this is my third visit, I believe, that I've been here. I was here 2 or 3 years ago, and the city council actually passed a resolution to support the Convention of States here, but there's a lot of new faces that's on the committee. Then I was here earlier and trying just to do a little follow-up. So I think it was time here to do a little refresher on what the Convention of States, and we probably have our stuff directed a little bit better at really trying to help all the local communities that we can. So you'll see that basically our mission statement for Convention of States is build an engaged army of self-governance grassroots organization, and we have over 5 million people nationwide that's part of our volunteer work basically that we're doing. So I just wanted to go through here and give you, page down. Page down, right? Okay. That worked. No, it didn't. Nope.
It's beeping. I hear it beeping when you push that button, so it's not happy about something.
Down. The down arrow. Thank you. Sorry, can't handle this. I did the down arrow. How can he make it work and I can't?
It's probably
There
showing
we
somebody's
go.
Wheel of Fortune
Maybe
down the
slower.
road.
So basically, it just took time. It's slower than when I was ready to go. Anyway, we're trying to basically reverse some of the federal government's overreach of all the powers and everything that they've taken away from the states and from the people all the way down. So I will show you how we're going to try to do that.
Two presentations on it, maybe? Oh, you're in presentation mode here, right? And there should be. There we go. And now if you hit that arrow key right here.
Just tab there. Yeah,
There you go.
Not updating, huh?
you're good. So I can do that. It's just a little slower. That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, my question here is what do you think about Washington DC and what are they doing for you? You know, are they really helping you get your projects done here? Are they really in the way and hard to deal with and hard to get done to do that? Anyway, just a few questions about that. This is going slower than I expected, so let's see if we can get through this. Anyway, I think there's a lot of things that you would recognize that they're hard to deal with at the federal level when you're down here at your level trying to get money or funding or, you know, EPA's coming in and slowing all your projects down. So what is the source? What's really the problem here? We're basically thinking the federal government over time has taken away all the powers from the state and the local government. Basically, they're ignoring something called federalism, where our government's supposed to be split up with different responsibilities, federal, state, local, you know, or even within the federal government, you know, they're divided. Everything was divided to divide the powers out so nobody got too much power. But basically, the back room now has all sorts of powers, the EPA and those kind of making regulations that nobody votes on, nobody gets a say in it. So that's I can't believe how much trouble I'm having here, folks.
Where's the state assembly at in regards to the convention of the states? I know the last time after we passed the local legislation, which was the beginning part, is finding local municipalities throughout multiple counties across the state of Ohio in order to create influence upon the state house. Where is it at the state level?
At the state level right now, we have kept coming to local municipalities like this to help it. Our original goal is we were getting petition signs. We have about 130,000 petition signers in Ohio that support a convention of the states. So it's the biggest grassroots thing they've seen. So in trying to support that further, we've been coming to local communities like yourself to get you to say, yes, this would be good for us. Sending a message to your state legislators to try to get them to vote on this.
Yeah, we originally passed the resolution in order to begin that first part of it. There were some council members at the time that reached out to the state representatives to try to create influence that way. How many municipalities across the state of Ohio have taken charge on this and
Well, you guys were number 2 in line. It actually happened.
Yes.
And we still only have a small number. I've starting to address this now. I was at Whitewater Township here a month ago, and they passed the resolution at Whitewater Township, but we've only got 10 or 12 probably across the state at this time that has done what you have done.
And the goal was to get how many?
Our goal is to pass House Joint Resolution 3 that's up in the House right now in Columbus. You know, so we're just trying whatever we can do to get enough pressure on the legislators to get them to bring it up, to get it up to a vote, you know, and get it passed is really our goal. So it doesn't like we need so many numbers that's going to make it happen. We just got to do whatever we can to convince our representatives in Columbus, you know.
We passed that resolution back in
Pass
2021.
this thing.
We passed that resolution in 2021. It's now 2024. So it's been a joint resolution that's put before the state legislature every year, even the year prior.
The only reason I asked the questions that I did is because obviously if more municipalities passed resolutions, the influence on the state becomes more important. When you have 8 to 10 municipalities across the entire state that pass resolutions, it's a different message and it's not as much urgency. And I was just wondering what the efforts are to contact the local municipalities to get the support that's needed to influence.
Kind of the way this happened, there was another village, I think, that had passed it before you. We had one of our active people that volunteered for us was on the council up there, and they passed it. And then basically, I was here not even looking so much to thinking that I needed you to pass a resolution, but after we came here and saw that, I kind of flipped around and do it. So now, it's only about now we are really starting to concentrate on these.
I think it's
Well, I think what we'll do is maybe invite you back another time where you can get the media. That way, the community can see everything. So maybe in a month or so, you can come back and we can try to make sure that the slides are working properly in order to spread the message better.
Okay?
I want to do it justice, and as you all know, if you look at your pay stub, a good portion of every paycheck goes to the federal government. Yes, it is dispersed in multiple different ways, but as I've told a lot of people, I enjoy spending tax money in our own local community much more than in other areas. So the more money that we would have at this level, the more we could do. But I do want to give it the justice that it deserves, and I think it's just kind of cumbersome right now, and we do need to try to keep moving. So maybe
Right.
we can invite you back at another time and see if we can't get the technology to work better for you.
We're more than willing to do that. I did give everybody a package
Yes.
here, and there's a lot of council people here who haven't signed it yet. I would like for, encourage you guys to sign the petition. You can read what's on it, and there's other information. And I do have a little pamphlet with a guy back here. Anybody in the room, be happy to get that out so they can get the word here.
And you have a website also. What's your website?
And we have a website, conventionestates.com, and there is probably more information you want to know. The only other thing, if I could get down,
And that's what I was going to point out. I encourage everybody, just go to Convention of the States, do your own research. And there's more information than you'll be able to absorb, so.
we have to get 2/3 of the states to pass this resolution. So, we're at like 20 states now, so we got to get that many more states to make it off. And I will point out really quickly, here are some of the main characters that we have behind this, that's been behind this for years now, working on this. And Mark Meckler came from the Tea Party groups that he organized, and he's kind of our marketing guy.
Yes.
And then Michael Ferris, Rob Navidson, and Mark Levin are all highly recognized constitutional attorneys, because this is going to affect the Constitution. So I just want to point out that we have some of the top people in the country that's really behind this.
Very good. Well, I do. I appreciate your time this evening, and we'll get you back on the agenda here soon, and see if we can't flow through this a little bit easier for you.
Thank you, I appreciate the
Yes,
time
sir.
wise.
Thanks for coming, Dale.
Thank you.
And next we have Matt Vaught, CBDG. Matt. Not here this evening? Okay. Ms. Tony Lello, Roads and Pickleball Courts. Good evening, how are you?
Armand?
I don't think so.
What is CB?
I just first wanted to say
Public
thank
hearing that we
you
just did.
for adding the turn lane at West and Carolina Trace and modifying on New Haven, the turn lanes there. So little things, but I think they make a big difference. So thank you.
Absolutely.
And then the pickleball courts, I know that was a joint venture between the township and the city. And I know they started cracking pretty quickly after they were built. So this summer, or this, as I went out there this spring after the winter, there's even more cracks. So I think they're just gonna, keep getting worse. So is there a maintenance fund, or I assume there's something put aside for that? How does that get kicked in?
So what we can do is we can have Jim go out and take a look at it and see what would we invite somebody out to put bids on it. That's what I was trying to think of, sorry.
Okay.
Put bids on resealing it, and then it would probably need new paint for the lines and everything. So what we would do is take it to Building Lands and have a conversation about it, and then try to get it taken care of.
Okay.
But Jim can go ahead and start getting bids on it in the
Okay.
meantime to make sure it's sealed, especially
Because I just think
before
every
we get
year
into
it
the
goes
fall.
by, it's gonna, just get worse and worse. Okay,
Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
all right, that's all I have, thanks.
Thanks, Dale.
Very good, thank you.
Thank
See
you.
We actually have no business to conduct this evening. It was all guests and visitors and presentations. So with that, we'll go ahead and we'll move into reports. You know, I hope everybody had an absolutely wonderful Easter weekend. There's only one real item that I want to touch on, and it's personally affected my family recently. And it's a ever-growing problem across the entire country, and that's mental health. For years, I've talked, especially during the holiday season, that you make sure that you reach out to loved ones, make contact with those individuals around you. Sorry. And just really support those individuals, whether they're veterans, whether they're the elderly. But in this day and age, it's not just those groups. It's young people, it's middle-aged people, it's absolutely everybody from top to bottom. It takes 2 seconds of your time to check on them and just let them know that they're loved. And that you're there for them. And I do. I really challenge each and every person in our community to take the time for those around you. And that's all I have to report this evening. Mr. Law Director? Sorry, Jerry. Councilman Wilson.
The only report I got is my wife tomorrow, she said she was born the day she met me, and tomorrow she will be then 53 years old.
That's right, Jerry. You finally got something right. After all these years, you finally got something right.
But I want to wish her a happy birthday tomorrow, and to tell you the truth, it's not 53. If you add 20 to that, you do the math. That's how old she will be tomorrow.
53.
And I'm leaving, so she can have a great birthday. I'm leaving with the mayor for Germany, and I'll be gone 10 days, so everybody keep your eye on her. That's it.
Councilman Egner.
Mayor, I have no report. That's it. Thanks.
Very good. Councilman Abrams?
3 quick points, and we've talked about 2 of them before. Carolina Trace at West Road, the street department had relined the intersection to have a turn lane. New Haven at Carolina Trace, they did a new traffic pattern. And just to bring everybody up to speed, Dare Avenue will be sent out to bid sometime in the summer. The project will cost about $1.5 million for Dare. So I had some people call me on that, so they have been updated now, like all of you. That's all I have there.
Very good. Councilman Samuels.
Yes, and I do apologize for the length of the updates, but it just so happens I have 2 big updates going on. So this evening, Economic Development Committee met. During economic development, broken down to a couple different sections, but the activity report, really within the zoning department, it's a lot of the springtime permit. Matt said springtime permit season is here, so they're seeing a lot of permits coming through for fences, decks, things like that. Typical stuff you would see during springtime. Our Planning Commission update, there are 4 items coming before Planning Commission on April 9th. There's a zoning and use approval for 121 Harrison Avenue. It's West Haven Collections, where they're going to offer home decor, jewelry, and refinished furniture. There's a zoning and use approval for 231 Harrison Avenue, the Creek Wine Shop and Bar. It's a small wine bar featuring self-service wine dispensers by Napa Technology, beers and mixed cocktails, small dishes, and I'm not even going to try to say this, charcuterie will be served.
Charcuterie.
And live entertainment 1 to 2 nights a week. 2 other items that we're going to require a public hearing. Conditional use for 10048 Harrison Avenue, a Doggy Days. It's a doggy daycare, overnight kenneling and boarding, and one-on-one training. There will be a public hearing. It's already been published. for that at 7 p.m. on April 9th for the approval or conditional use approval for that facility. The last item is a zoning amendment for 9121 Kilby Road. It is changing a vacant land parcel from a general business district zone to an M1, which is a manufacturing zone. There will be a public hearing on April 9th at 7:15 for this zoning amendment. If the zoning amendment after the public hearing will have to go before Planning Commission and ultimately come before council. So just a heads up on that. The TIRC, Tax Incentive Review Committee, we have nominated two people, Hank Manager and myself, to join that committee. I think, will that come before council for a vote, or that was just nominated through the committee?
I think it's just nominated.
Okay, so we've been nominated to the TIRC group. Code enforcement, Matt is at a meeting with some HOAs regarding code enforcement. There's been some desire from some of the HOAs for the city to come out and start enforcing things that haven't been looked at in some time. So they're going to start taking a look at that. So be on the lookout for letters possibly coming in the mail and so on. And the bulk of our discussion, or our committee meeting, was spent discussing the zoning and permitting fees, which has been a hot topic between this and the Finance Committee. So there is still ongoing discussion on changing the permit and zoning fees as it relates to residential properties. There is still ongoing information going to be looked at. There's going to be a discussion with the law director and possibly looking at just strictly changing the fee structure, which would not require planning commission approval or require a public hearing or planning commission approval. So be on the lookout for that also. That's it for economic development. On to Finance Committee. The Finance Committee met on March 26th. As always, we discussed the February financial report. It was reviewed. Really, we're still early in the year to really look at any trends. The revenues do seem consistent with budget, so do the expenses. But we'll probably, after the first quarter, have a good handle on where we're at with the numbers. Some of the miscellaneous items that we had, budget amendments, it was an item for us to discuss, only for the simple fact that we didn't have any budget amendments for February, so that's a good thing. We did review the EMS.gov Safe Streets and Roads Grant application. We were going to forward that on to the Streets Committee for review, or the Streets Department for review, because it is an upgrade to safer streets and roads, and that would be better handled through the Streets Department rather than the Finance Committee. There was an OP&F census audit. The review, and basically it's a review of the pension contributions for the police and fire. The review was completed. Kim did comment she didn't think there were any issues, but a final ruling hasn't come out on that as of the committee meeting. There was a discussion of a loan to the CIC for the purchase of a piece of property by the CIC. I think Kim right now is reviewing alternative to a city loan, so we do not, the city does not have to get involved in that. We also discussed the fire levy renewal. There will be a resolution to be brought before council on April 16th for council to vote on regarding renewing the fire levy. And also we had a brief discussion on the possibility of escrowing approximately $2 million in 2025 for the Dry Fork Road overpass. And really, at this point, it's too early to tell. We do have approximately about $1.25 million in a capital improvement fund that we've kind of been saving for this. We've known it's been coming down the pipeline, so we do have a good portion of that saved up. But we're just going to take a wait-and-see approach when it comes to this to see where we are with our budget and where the money would come from. So with that, that's all I have. Mayor, that's it.
Very good. Councilman Acre?
I did want to touch on one thing. I left the meeting, our last meeting, and I was determined to find some type of grant for our river park so we could address the parking and trails to get them handicapped accessibles. And after hours and hours, I finally found one, and I did pass that information on to the mayor. It's a 75 to 25%, meaning we pay the 25, state pays 75%. He quickly passed it on to Mr. Leslie, and Mr. Leslie passed on to Jennifer Vatter, and I talked to all of them today, and that's moving along. So thanks to all of those involved, and hopefully we get that And that shouldn't be too awfully long that maybe we'll get that old trail all paved and done.
Yeah, there have been some proposals in regards to potential cost, and then the research around the grant and the potential and everything is in process, so it's moving along nicely.
So a question on that, we've kind of had some discussion about the community center, and Tim Sullivan came and gave her plan for, which they want to do here with the rec funds for the community center. What was the match that they were looking? Did they have any matching money? Did they have any grant money that they had applied for to do anything?
The recreation facility
Right.
improvement?
Right.
So the majority of that money right now is all from the State of
Federal
Ohio
tax.
program.
What's that?
So the State of Ohio program.
Okay.
So it originally was submitted through Hamilton County. Hamilton County recommended $650,000. It now advances to the state level. The goal is to try to potentially bring in up to $1 million rather than the $650,000. That decision-making process goes on now and into June, about somewhere thereabouts. I believe June.
And what was the
So-
phase one cost that she had estimated in the proposal that she brought forward?
Well, with the funds that are in the current recreational
Bedroom tax.
bedroom tax fund, thank you.
You're welcome.
$700,000, $740,000. If we get the $1 million, so we'd have the $1 million, $740,000, and then a potential $150,000 on top of that the city may contribute. So 1.7, 1.8.
So what we're proposing with that is about a 50% match. What Councilman Acre is looking at here is a
75.
75, a significant match, which is, a nice incentive to only have to pay 25% of the cost.
Yes.
So, I don't know you don't have any total cost figures on this.
The initial cost would have us paying about a little over $19,000, and the grant, the states would be, $58,000.
The other 75%, and then that 25% could come out bedroom tax money. Could we use our bedroom tax money for that?
I don't know. We'd have to do some research around that, but
It's
yeah,
recreational,
I
right?
would think that
It would
would.
qualify as
Yeah.
a semi-permanent to permanent
Right.
expense, which is what
Yes.
that's for.
yes.
So you think it would qualify for this?
I'm certain it would qualify.
And that sounds like.
It's just a matter of
Okay, great.
getting
Great
council
work.
to say so.
Yeah. Understood.
Well, we're
Thank you,
we're
Mr.
looking
Baker.
for we're searching for grants ourselves.
For the bigger.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
Yeah,
So I
direct
mean,
improvement.
we're not just counting on this grant and the bedroom tax.
Good.
We're searching for other grants, other ways to bring money in, and we're also looking for people that would be willing to do in-kind donations.
Sure.
And we're not just banking on one or two things.
And that's why I was asking.
Well,
questions.
The saying, I'm trying to explain to you that that's what we're doing. We're not just counting on one or two things. We're searching for grants. We're searching for other ways that we can do more of the project quicker and do other things in the city besides that project. We want to be part of Willow Parks. We get it. We're doing a lot of research, and we may put Ray on some more research. Since he's such a good researcher.
He keeps finding 75.
Yeah.
What time was it?
Yeah.
Well,
Don't
he
be
did.
silly.
He brought it up at, the last council meeting? You brought it up, and then later that evening, he had found the grant, and then he did research around it, and then he sent it to me, and then I forwarded it to Jim and Jennifer.
What time was it
Bader,
you got
and-
it?
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
he is diligent about his
Yes.
research and process, so.
One thing about the plan they have, and it's not a bad plan, with what's the work being done here, was the expense is $400,000 an acre for what's being done here. There are some things I would like us to do otherwise, because we have more than the acreage here. We have 90 other acres of parkland. I would like to see the Doug, even though I'll never be here using it. I'll never be, flipping around on a motorcycle. I would like to see you guys get a storage facility, because I don't know if everyone realizes this or not, but the motorcycle park, and they're probably all fainting if they're hearing me say this, they should be commended because everything they do is volunteer. If we had as many volunteers in our parks as they have for their parks, we wouldn't need the grants. And they do a lot of work, but they could use a used skid steer. Is that what it's called?
Skid steer.
Skid steer, and they could use something to lock their tools up in that, so they don't have to drag them there every time they want to work. And it's like a $10,000, $15,000 expense total. It'd be nice if something like that could be done. Obviously, I pay a little bit of attention to our parks. Our village park, when you walk into it, there's a big plaque before you get to the grave of the Revolutionary Soldier. All the names are wrong on it. They don't match the guy's name they're talking about over in the site. The plaque needs to be changed. They got the name wrong of the man who donated the land in 1817. I'd like to see things like that changed, but they take money. And there's little things like that in areas all over the city parks that I'd like to see improved as well as here.
I think it's been reported numerous times, and I mean numerous, that this is a concept that we have come up with. A concept is not set in stone. It's just that, a concept. So it's a working project. You know, we got to come up with the funds to decide what we can do, and once we do, then it'll be a plan of action. Right now, it's a concept. Nothing is written in stone. No way, no how.
Why don't we go ahead and refocus back to committee reports and
But that's all I had on mine.
very good, thank you. Councilman Maines?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have some brief reports. The Utilities Committee meeting met this evening. The Edgewood Sewer Project is back underway from the winter hiatus. They are challenged with the water table and working through putting in the sewer line. They didn't extend, and we've had a wet February, and that land up there just holds the water, and so they've had to modify that. But we're looking at end of May timetable for the section of Edgewood Road between New Haven Road and Balkman Road to be completed. Sometime for about a week in May, New Haven Road will be closed down so they can finish the sewer work that they weren't able to accomplish early or late last year. So there will be a short detour on New Haven Road, but that'll be just for a week. The total project should be completed sometime in September. But the impact from the traffic, the thing where we've got gravel getting into the parts of Whitewater apartments and that sort of thing, will be over end of May. At least that's the anticipation at this point. And the other side of that is because it's gravel, it gets potholed and gets full of water. We had a big rainstorm tonight, so the construction company is aware of that, and they're maintaining that on a regular basis to make sure that that's passable. And then Tech and Media Committee met this evening. Kim Downey reported that we're taking care of records disposal. There's a shred event scheduled for April 19th. The audiovisual project with ICVAB, the North Conference Room is almost finished. Almost. It's this close. It's been a long process. They've had a couple of glitches along the way, but it's just about finished. And several little enhancements here in the council chambers. I'm told that one of the TVs was flickering. That's not happening anymore. One of the TVs was not level. And so that's been leveled and fixed. Kim asked about going to a cybersecurity training session, Ohio Persistent Cyber Improvement, and she mentioned that the price was free. So we said, yes, that's great. Go do that and protect our city from a cyber attack, from a ransomware attack. We don't want that to happen. Mr. Eisenbraun, I said that wrong. I'm never going to get it right. Eisenbraun, is that right? There we go.
Matt
the man. Eisenbraun. We're working on getting an individual hired part-time to do our website. We lost Sarah Cullen, and we're trying to find somebody to do that, and looking for more of a long-term solution using internships or co-ops from the local universities. And that gives them great experience, and I love working with Mike also. So I'm sure Matt and Joette and the group are going to enjoy that. And then the city is working on the social media project. And then lastly, I'd like to thank Dale Maris for coming out tonight. I'm sorry that your presentation was kind of glitchy and not working well, but we'll work through the details. It's It's fun, he had something down here, and I'd actually heard about Convention Estates at another meeting, and so I'm excited he's about that. I'm proud, that Harrison was one of a handful of municipalities that's passed that resolution. I believe Dale is going to come talk to you, Mr. Losenkamp at the Harrison Township about that. Dale, you need to talk with, raise your hand there, Tom, so Dale knows who you are. So he's one of our township trustees, right? And do the same thing we did at Whitewater Township. If I need to come and talk, I'll be glad to do that. We're going to do the same thing with Crosby Township. So we're going to move from Harrison and move, north and eastward to try to spread the word. So, like you said, Mr. Mayor, how many do we need? As many as we need to get the State House to. They put it on their docket, but it's never been put to a vote. Mrs. Abrams has said that if it comes to a vote, she's a yes vote. So I'm encouraged by that. And just a review of Convention of States, it's about term limits. And I think most people would like to not see congressmen serve 4 terms. I think Marcy Captor up in Toledo has served for 40 straight years, 20 straight terms. She's got a Guinness Book of World Records on that. And if I was ever elected to a federal office, I'd self-term limit myself, but that's probably not going to happen. Particularly because of my party affiliation, but that's a whole nother story. We won't rant on that for.
Onward.
Oh, you want to hear about that, right?
Onward.
No, not today.
Not today. Term limits, a balanced budget amendment. I can think of about 34 trillion reasons why we need a balanced budget amendment, and then states' rights and just that return. So it's been at the State House since at least 2021. It's been out there. It's never been brought to a vote. Don't understand why we have a Republican supermajority in our State House. It's a very conservative piece of legislation, although Democrats support that. I think a lot of Democrats get tired of seeing Mitch McConnell up there, as much as some of the Republicans get tired of seeing Marcy Captor. So, and that's all I have on that. Mr. Mayor, that's all I have. Thank you.
Very good, thank you, sir. Councilwoman Wilson, please.
I do, Mayor, thank you. For recreation, want to thank the Recreation Committee and all the volunteers and all the people who, all the businesses and that came together to put a very great Easter program together for the community. The Boy Scouts had a great pancake breakfast, and there was just so much stuff for the kids to do, so many games, so many giveaways. It's great living in a community where people want to participate and be involved, and Kim Sovereign needs...
Great job.
She needs a lot of accolades because she does a super job. That prior girl taught her good. Just teasing. But no, it was a great event and very well attended.
Yes,
so
it was.
Kids, even though the weather was iffy, all of a sudden it all cleared up and it was great. And it was just like I predicted. The Easter egg hunt started at 11 a.m. and it was done by 11:01 a.m. I mean 11:01.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, that's right. So that was a great event, and we thank the city for allowing us to have a recreation commission that can put on such great things. Our next thing we'll be starting our concerts, and our concerts are set. Our first concert will be June the 4th with The Remains. June the 18th will be Michelle Robinson. July the 16th will be Zack Attack. And July the 30th will be DV8. The July 4th parade and celebration is in the works. Summer Fun is a great thing for young children in our community. It serves children in kindergarten through 5th grade. And sign-ups will be June the 13th here at the Community Center, 10 a.m. to noon, and April the 18th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It'll be in the multi-purpose room. The pre-registration requirement is $50, which includes a t-shirt. And Summer Fun runs from June the 11th through July the 25th. Tuesday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to noon. And it's a great program, and $50 is next to nothing to be able for your child to attend that program. And Mayor, touching on what you reported before, mental health is everybody's business, and the American Legion certainly understands that, as well as VFW, all service organizations. But the American Legion has a program called Be the One to Save One. And what we encourage people to do is do your buddy checks on your family members, on your neighbors, on anyone that you think needs to be reached out to. Sometimes just a phone call, or just sometimes a nod or a handshake, a hug is something that someone needs. But I encourage everyone to learn the warning signs of someone going through mental stress, because it's so important. And I can tell you myself from personal experience that my father committed suicide when I was 24 years old. And as Jerry pointed out, I'll be 73 tomorrow, and I can tell you it's something that you never get over. So it's everybody's business to try to help someone out. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Mayor, before there's a motion to adjourn, I do need to request a very brief executive session for a personnel matter. It shouldn't take more than about 10 minutes.
Okay.
What?
I apologize.
Executive session.
I guess we just adjourned to.
Do we need a motion for that, or
executive
do we just retire?
No.
Need a motion and a vote, yes.
Motion to retire to executive session.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Agra?
Yay.
Mr. Maines?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
You.
Mr. Egner?
Yeah.
With that, we'll adjourn to executive session. I thank you all for coming this evening.
What does that have to do with the city?